Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Esper Control. Don't worry about the name in the corner. Cap locks was on / off, whatever. I messed it up. So there's a capital S up there for no reason. Not a pun. Other than that, we are going to be playing some Esper Control. We have our removal package here on the left. I kind of categorized it in a little way that's a lot easier to look at to see what we're working with. We got all the removal kind of over here with Virtue of Persistence acting as a two-way card in terms of being removal early, maybe a little life gain if needed, or a reanimate spell in the late game against some of these bigger decks that we need to overvalue in the late game. And then we have a couple of counter spells. We're not too heavy, as it's kind of hard to be heavy in counter spells when you're playing best of one with the amount of aggro decks that are around. We got our card draw and quick study and memory deluge. Wandering Emperor is the overall win condition, along with Farewell and Sunfall. And then at the end here, we have our lands. I kind of pulled some of the ones of importance to the side, being Mirrex, Rafine's Tower, Restless Fortress, Otawara, and Iganjo. Here's the sideboard. This is pretty much pulled from a challenge. I swapped up a couple of cards for best of one purposes. Other than that, this is the list, and we're just going to get into the games. And if you enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe. Other than that, I hope you do enjoy it. Try. Very easily like throwbackable, so I'm not entirely sure why I kept it, but if it pays off, it pays off. Never punished. How you win in best of one. You just keep anything and hope it works out. We have 4 color here, or 5 color big stuff. Be hard for us to keep up with. Oh no, it's the Shards of Alara. So we get to do something cool. We let that resolve. We get to Void Rend it. We get to decline the ward cost because Void Rend can't be countered. 4 mana. I don't think there's a whole lot we have to worry about, so we'll quick study. And land. Yes. Okay, well this time around we're just going to pass. We have to hold up this dissipate. So 10 minutes to figure that out. Mountain. Kind of foreshadows that they might have a Tali in hand. Luca we will not allow. You find land. Have 5 mana. Hope they just don't try to cash in on shards here. Yep. So you hit. Nothing? Pretty sure that was a nothing hit. Yeah. Grab a make this appear. Really didn't hit a land there, huh? Just a Wandering Emperor. Go ahead and remove that from play. Give them less mana to operate on. But we do find land, so we'll pass now. Can't play Wandering Emperor, make it 2/2, sack it to the Make Disappear to make sure they don't have enough mana to pay for like maybe another Shards of Alara. We see 1 in Adventure, 1 here. 1 in Graveyard. There's the Atali we were talking about. 1, 2, 3, and 4, so they're out. Okay. You're saying there's a chance. Sunfall's pretty good to get us back in. Restless Fortress. Once again, We'll pass. The other thing against this deck that they kind of have to watch out for, if they can't create the mountains of value, is that they actually run into the problem of negate's fine, farewell will actually get it done too. So the reason negate's going to be fine is they actually still have to cast this Invasion of Alara on the side, so we can negate it and stop them from blowing up lands or doing anything like that. You can do a Memory Deluge, but it's only for 4. They exile. I guess it doesn't really matter what they exile. I mean, the trigger resolves. Have to do all their targets first. We'll negate this. We take away their card draw. We take away everything else. Down to 35 cards, so they still have plenty of cards in hand. Play a Bramble Familiar. They have one in hand. What do you have? Holly's in there. I know they play into Traxa. The only issue for them is they don't really have counter spells. They don't have the mana to bounce that back to their hand. Let's remove this. Pick this off, and we'll still have 4 mana available. I guess I used all my black mana, but I had to. So Void Rend's not available. That's a little bit of an oopsie on my part. I could have also just slammed this Virtue. I didn't really even think about that. Good looking for Virtue. It's in the Adventure Zone. It's not in my graveyard. Let's do Memory Deluge. They'll give a land minus whatever counters they want to give. You still have to pick a target, so it doesn't really do anything. But I didn't realize how bottlenecked on black that we were. Like one of the things you don't realize sometimes when playing online in comparison to like playing in paper, when you're constantly like looking at your lands. Or choose the card. Dude. Land. Pass. Go ahead and get an Emperor down. I think it's 2/2. Make disappear. I think we made that 2/2, I suppose. Do enchantments. I know I get rid of my Memory Deluges with this. Maybe I can just wait. Yeah, I think I just have to do enchantments. Not really affect the graveyard. I think I'm gonna need mine intact. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. I can make disappear this spell and kick it. Works out flawlessly for us. I will double target Atraxa. Really holding on to this Bramble Familiar. Pay for 1. As whatever. Land Bramble Familiar is the last card in their hand. We might lose our Emperor anyway when they Bramble, and they might hit a Cemetery Desecrator, so we got to make sure that we don't fall for that. But I also don't know how we really lose if we just do this. We'll just start reanimating cards out of their graveyard. We can channel there. We could have fired off a Memory Deluge, but we'd be stuck with 1 mana anyway. They find a Leyline Binding in which we can Void Rend. They do. Which 7 mana to deal with that is perfectly fine. Really just wanted to stall for the most part. They don't have the mana for the familiar, so we can cut down it. And then they will all be gone, I believe. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remove that. Play the swamp. Attack for 4. Be sure we've worked them out of threats as well. Cycle, sure. Cycle, sure. Void Ren, delay line binding. They might have another one, but they don't. My turn. Yep. Sweet. And I love Void Rent. Uncounterable nonsense. We will keep. Can't imagine our opponent's going to be gunned. Okay. All the aggro decks came out to play yesterday. They don't want to come out today, apparently. Land. Get a pass. Okay. There to beach. Pass ourselves. It is cycle, so they must be flooded pretty heavily. Another crime. Or leyline bindings may be in hand. We'll find out eventually. Island come down. We'll pass it up. Most likely, we'll try to jam a Wandering Emperor on their end step. Maybe kind of get some cards out of their hand. Oh, we're this team. Let that resolve. I don't want to waste our counter spell on that, especially if they're in a Lara deck. That'll come in. We'll just go ahead and get rid of this as well. Doesn't feel great because Luca kind of took 2 cards out of her hand, but I think Make the Spear is too important there to let it go. I scored just fine. Watch this in. Sure, we wait until they target so they can't take away our 2/2. That's it. They might have another one, but we really want this around for Make This Spear. I don't truly care about anything else. Yep. Totally fine with doing that. Lose 3. Regain 3. Attack for 2. I love that Enganjo highlights itself when you attack with the creature. Like, you could shoot it for 3. Invasion of Alara. Sign here is that we know we generally don't have to fight over this. Headphone cable is like catching on my arm. Alright. We're playing this. Even if they do it, maybe we'll be fine. Although, an Invasion of a Lark technically have blown it up. I don't really have anything to reanimate. Actually, I do. I can reanimate a 7/5 here. No leyline binding, please. No binding, no binding, no binding. I will bring out this 7/5. Very nice. We're a combo deck. In turn. The thing I was afraid of is on the invasion, if they wheeled it here, they actually could have blown up the Virtue. So be it. Make a little thing. We rip a cut down. We definitely attack with this, I think. But they have to block with 2. They don't block with anything. Alright. Now we're in no fear, I think. If they attack out, we have lethal. Then they'll have to deal with our board. Just wheeling that works, I guess. They hit an Atraxa. Sure. What else is in there? A second Phyrexian. Well, that resolves. A Tali going to the bottom. Invasion, Desecrator. So no Leyline Binding. The Binding's the real only fear, I would imagine. Land -3/-3 on this would be kind of annoying. So we're gonna do something here. We're gonna gain. I guess the life gain doesn't really matter, right? No reason to do that. No attack. Okay. I do memory delusion, do both. I don't think so, right? Kind of a tough call. Next. No attacks. Turn? I think maybe we wait here. I don't feel confident about this game plan. They put one of these into their hand. I mean, we'll shoot for the stars here. It tapped all of our blue mana because of the ping land. And Mythics. I hate Arena so much sometimes. Sure, yeah, that resolves. I would hate to have blue mana open at 25 life. There, Desecrator, sure. It literally only tapped blue mana, by the way. I know I'm supposed to keep track of that, but if the algorithm wanted to keep Mythics open, you can still tap the waste in the underground river for colorless to do it. I don't know. Yeah, being unreasonable. Not making a token. You can blow it up. You have another Gorger? Make a copy of Leyline Binding, sure. So much I could do with blue mana open right now. This whole turn could have been prevented. I'm gonna attack with 10 because it's all they can really afford to attack with. Kind of 18 cards. Can we play the mill game? Probably, honestly. Still might not matter in the end. Let's play more blue mana. Who would have thought? So since we're playing to mill them, we're gonna attack with all this stuff. They can gain all the life they want, but they're limited on cards. And the more they activate these Bramble Familiars, the less likely they'll have cards. Block with all these. Sure. I want no part of gaining more life. Blue. White. Yes, I'll take a damage. I don't really care that much. That. Got nothing else. Sure. Sunfall. We'll still have a negate available. All the way up to 28. Plus we can make this 4/4. We can void rend one of these things to kind of blow it out. Draw again. Virtue of Presence will be negated. Line Binding will pick up that, sure. At the point they're just kind of out of cards, so they're doing whatever they can. Playing Ganja. The land I think that's been in our hands since the beginning of the game. We have 39 cards in our deck. They have 15. There's a Virtual Presence themselves. Really have a whole lot of enticing things in there, and I don't play like any creatures at all. That'll resolve. Could Void Rend this, but I can also do my own Virtual Presence. This. They have the last binding. Not too far-fetched considering they are through like their entire deck. I'll have the mana for it. I didn't look again to tap to make sure I could maybe counter it. This game has been very annoying now. I almost guarantee I could have. Basically, we're going to let them reanimate, and then we're just going to Memory Deluge here. We'll take that away, although I don't think they were ever activating it anytime soon. Sure. We are just looking for a farewell. And we can say goodbye to this game. Royal Familiar comes in. Perfectly fine. Leyline Bindings are in place. We don't have to play around it. Redeluge. Disappear. Cards. Farewell. Our Memory Deluge. Not dead by any stretch of the imagination. I could cycle this later, but we'll just play it down now. We'll start turboing through our deck. Pick another token. We have 8, 9, 10, 11 coming in. We'll start to get dangerous fast. I don't have anything of relevance in there. There's going to be Rainbow Familiar. You're not going to do the second Flesh Scourger. A little weird. Maybe they're trying to play around a Sunfall here. We'll let it hit. I don't think we're in any immediate danger. I mean, we're obviously in danger. It's just kind of crazy to look at this board state and just know that if we ever find a farewell, we are big chilling. Quick study. Wandering Emperor, quick study. I mean, I have a lot of board wipes in the deck. Hey, there they are. Oh no. I'll just do all these. Hey. And this is why people hate Farewell in Commander. Because you're just completely behind and you say, okay, I caught up. Go first. Very nice. Keep this. can play tap land, untap land, untap land. Brings together really well. Soldiers force. Dark Slick will hold up. See if maybe a Thalia is of relevance here. Recruitment officer. Want to make sure that they sacrifice the creature that is actually able to attack me. So we'll fire off the Edict now. I give them all the choices in the world you're gonna want. We'll pass. I got about 3 damage on board. Veteran. Find a counter spell. Assume it's a misland from them. Is 4 damage for it actually. And Ganja's a great draw. Good land out. We have Memory Delusion, which will most likely try to fire off this turn, take a little bit of damage, but set up for the rest of the game. Obviously, I can get the Ganja value and blow that up. We can always do that next turn. I think I want to set up. Memory Delusion. That's great. This land's actually perfectly fine. Is it only when it attacks? Yeah, it's only when it attacks. I will take a cut down because cut down's actually good here. Go for the throw. It's another great find. Let's play Adhikar Waste and we'll move through the game with progression here. We move to combat. We will try to remove. They only have removal spells, so we're going to play to them. Honestly, making a couple of creatures here I think is going to be better. Brutal Cathar takes that token out, sure. Perfectly fine with me. Make 2/2. We play Mirix. We can let it flip here. As weird as that sounds, we don't have to pay the ward cost with the Void Rend. And if they play another Brutal Cathar, I would prefer it to be on that side than on the other side. Attack here. We'll decline to pay the life. You're unsure why that works. If you don't pay the ward cost, ward counters the spell, and Void Rend cannot be countered, therefore it does not work on Void Rend. Remove that out of the way as well. Honestly, we're gonna play in Ganja here. Don't really want to, but I want to be able to fire off this Memory Deluge. Let us go ahead and make another 2/2. I think that's more important. Protecting our life total from the little dorks, like the frontliner and stuff. Siege Veteran, sure. 1 spell from them. Will they flip it back to daytime? I don't think they will. Fire off the Deluge. Quick Study's good. Second Wandering Emperor is good. Could have argued maybe the counterspell is better there, but drawing a Farewell just rectifies all that. Now it's not a problem at all. I'm going to keep making land drops. Also, little bottlenecked on the black, so I want to be able to cover that.
Well, not attacking there is kind of a mistake, right? Because if I attack and they block, I can play Emperor Plus and give it first strike, so I won't lose the token. But we're still progressing our board. Recruitment Officer, sure. It's only when they die, correct? Yeah, it's when they die, so... Fire off the Quick Study. I could hit something, but we'll just let that go. You're going to attack.
Will you attack? No attack? Hard to see. Dual attack. Same plan as before. Oh. They're fully playing around the Wandering Emperor. That's one of the good parts about playing control sometimes. Is they'll play around a card so hard. Like, I think just taking the damage from them makes sense. You definitely should just take that damage. What I'm referring to is it's nice sometimes to see them not attack in a spot like this. So let us play it out now. Let us plus here. Block like this. Yeah, it's first strike, so we'll pop the recruitment officer. Of course, they'll make a 1/1, but we're not too upset about it. We'll fire off this memory deluge. We'll grab Void Rend and another memory deluge. Compiet. Great card draw. We have turned into the garbage time again. We'll attack with 3. We have more cards. We have ways to find more cards. And if they do something that gets the board completely out of hand, we have ways to go significantly over it. This doesn't draw anything here. I mean, I could just counter it. Just not have to worry about it. Play a second one. Sure. Got around my trap card. Target there, thinking I have a removal spell. You'd be correct. They double attack. They attack with this. I will double block. No attack. We'll memory deluge again. Virtue is going to be great. Field strategic will be great. Let us pop this up. You will sacrifice a non-token creature. Like a 1/1. Sure. Virtue of Presence. Go fast. Could have used it to like get rid of that too, but holding up Void Rend I think is more important. We'll just start eating cards from them. They're just samurais, right? Other soldiers. Pop this. Alright, we can do the fun stuff now. Brutal Cathar. Pick. Alright. Slowly worked through it, but we got there. That'll be it. Alright, team. We're going to talk about the deck a little bit. I definitely like it a lot. I like this version of Control a lot more than I do like just straight up blue-white. I really enjoy it because of this card specifically. I love this card. Void Rend. It's uncounterable. Destroy target non-land permanent. This helps in the fairies matchup. It helps against graveyard trespassers, so you don't have to discard a card. Mainly anything that has ward on it. Also, the awkward things against like green-white enchantments when they think they can ossification something and it's gone forever, then you Void Rend it and you get it back at instant speed. It's definitely a lot of combat tricks and playing around that you get to do with this card that I really, really enjoy and I love playing with. I do also enjoy the fact that we've figured out how to put Quick Study into the deck. A instant speed, draw 2 cards that has been the power scaled of power scaled, as this type of card started off as a 4-mana sorcery, then it went to a 4-mana instant, to a 3-mana sorcery, to now a 3-mana instant. It's really just funny to see kind of how like a card in the power scale is slowly progressing. Eventually, you never know. We might just get 2-mana draw 2 cards at sorcery speed. Just saying. Never know. But other than that, we definitely got like a really strong removal package in these type of cards. Virtue of Presence, if you want to call it removal, it's conditional removal, but also is sowing, go for the throat, cut down, and Shieldred's Edict. They're all conditional. But it followed up with the really strong removal that we have in Void Rend. as our like catch-all card. You definitely want to pay attention to which removal spell you're using and when, as obviously later in the game, cut down gets to be progressively worse against Shards of Alara. Go for the third. It's not necessarily that great. It's 7/5 artifact. Not be removed. Sometimes you'll run into the blue-red artifact deck playing like Cityscape Levelers and stuff like that this card is pretty bad against. So when you can get value from it, you might need to do so. Onward. Other than that, we have a nice solid counterspell package. I did cut one negate to play a Virtual Persistence because when you're in the best of one scenario, you definitely need to find like the stronger cards and have like a little bit more of a greedy deck in terms of how you're going to combat your opponents. Along with, it was 3 Sunfalls and 1 Farewell. I kind of downgraded a Sunfall and added an additional Farewell. Don't want people with graveyards to kind of take over the game and get that card advantage, whether it's Tenacious Underdog or another Virtue of Persistence deck, or just Reanimator, or like the Alara decks that kind of want to have a healthy graveyard to use with their Cemetery Decimator or Desecrator. That's the card. Other than that, the important things to note in the mana base, of course, we have the non-basic basic lands in terms of Iganjo, Odawara, which would just normally be plains and an island, but of course we're going to play them. And then we have down here Rafine's Tower to cycle if we need to just be drawing cards instead, Mirrex to make creatures, and then 1 Restless Fortress to round it out in terms of a win condition that is not the Wandering Emperor. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I have a lot of fun playing this deck specifically, especially when things like Void Rend, Quick Study, and Memory Deluge are in the deck, along with the Wandering Emperor. I love playing it in speed, and this is definitely the deck that does that for me. And I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you around in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.